Greetings everyone, I just started the stream, so welcome to another Fantazmo Artstream. It's total party with my baby boy here in the living room, so I'm gonna mute myself until chat goes more radical, because I don't want you to hear this annoying sounds in the background. Anyway, thank you all for watching, and let's continue with painting this protagonist. Welcome, Matilda, welcome. Hearing everything. I don't know what to tell you, man. Let me see how much microphone picks up from the background. Actually, it's not bad. What do you say? Nothing. Shit. I don't think so. Only happy noises. Happy noises. Okay. So where was I? Yeah, I was redesigning this stick last evening. Okay, let's go with this arm now. Just let me add some glow to the brush, 50%, and reduce the opacity on like 85-6%. Also, same goes for a razor. Meh. How you been doing, Matilda? How goes the day of yours, my friend? Check something. This is strange. Oh, okay. Okay, it's okay then. Why I don't see Dennis anymore on stream, man? He betrayed me. I thought he was my friend also. Yet he stuck a knife in my back. And now did some work around the house and then went shopping. And now I'm on my PC watching you. It's good to know. Good to know. Did you buy something interesting, like something interesting, like something interesting? Like something interesting. Beer. Beer. You know what? I was thinking about buying a beer. I didn't drink it for like when I was in Kefalonia this summer. I drank some and I really enjoyed it. But I wouldn't mind some alcohol, to be honest. Although I have only like strong alcohol here in the house, like whiskey and bourbon. But I don't like to drink that stuff. It's poison for your organism. Maybe later I'm gonna make a pause and go to local store and buy some for me also. I wouldn't mind open some cold beer. I also feel kind of I'm in a really good mood today. I don't know why. I don't have any special occasion. Just everything is just positive today, you know. And I like when I feel like that. Well, everyone is marvelous. Life is great. Yes, indeed, everyone is marvelous. Marvelous. Life is great, man. Trying to make this more textile, how to say, you know. Of course you should feel great. Yeah, man, I should. I mean, I have everything I want in my life. I really do have. What comes next on top of it is just pure, I don't know how to say, like ace, like joker, you know. So I felt a bit down when he was like, when my baby boy was like really young, small, you know, before he turned up like 10 months or so, because I was locked in pure dead mode. And it's okay, I was happy, but I lacked productivity, you know, personal productivity, and doing some stuff that I love. But hey, man, it's sacrifice every father needs to make, you know. But I can't even describe the feeling when you play with him. It's so fulfilling, you know. There is nothing in life actually simulates that experience like that. Soon boy will go to sleep and it will be quiet. Of course you should feel great. Yeah, already read that. But of course I already read that. We have some light dot here. I don't know why. So let's add some light source on this material a little bit. Like this. Yes. Beautiful, isn't it? Quite beautiful. I think by the time I finish this artwork, which will be in, as I said, like in 2027 or something, it will look good, I think. But c'est la vie de tous les jours. 1 second. No, it's not Lepopo. My dog puked because he licks all the parts of the house. Often, you know, searching for food. He's like pig, and I love him. But sometimes he licks so much stuff that he actually pukes it out, you know, afterwards. Boston Terrier are just crazy dog breed, how to say. Silly dog, indeed. Silly indeed, my friend. Let's add a little bit of texture here. Just a little bit, not too much. Yes. One sec. I'm also thinking about, at some point, first I want to do this project that I am actually doing at this moment, but as soon as I finish that artistic part of the video game demo, and then demo simulation. My next project will be new kind of assets. So I wanna try some other 2D assets in a different artistic style, leaning less to the cartoony art style and more towards, you know, refined stuff like this that I'm doing at the moment. You know, like having all these small details. And of course it will be available on Twitch when I finish them. But hey, it's a long way until I go there, because this is actually Jarok the Hunter, this video game that I want to make, is actually something that I really focused on these days. So the next step will be, when I finish this character art, I will work on a scenario for an intro, and then I'll draw an intro, because I want an intro to be like some short animation with a little bit of story introduction, you know, before main menu comes and tutorial, you know. And who knows, I hope I met someone that will actually be inspired by that and join in process of making that game. If not, I'm gonna do it myself. I don't know how, but I'm gonna do it, you know. If by any chance I will do it myself, I'm not talking about art, I'm actually talking about coding. I think I will try to learn Python or something and go with Godot. Godot, what's the English? I don't know. Here in Serbia I call it Godot, but I think Godot is actually how it's pronounced. Who knows? Can't remember. So that will be my next learning phase. Because I definitely, if I want to be a solo dev, I definitely need to master some tool for video games, and I don't want to go Unity. I want to do something open source, you know. I also considered about actually switching to Krita instead of Photoshop. It's just I'm kind of lazy at the moment for doing that, but at some point I certainly will do that, because I mean, fuck corporations. There is so much quality in the open source softwares these days. There is just no need for indie developers to get dependent on paid softwares. I mean, Photoshop is monster, but actually for the things that I'm doing, I think you can do like 100% same shit in Krita. What Photoshop is good for is more like, I mean, it's great for digital artists of any kind, but for example, if you're a photographer or something, Photoshop is must-have for you, but if you're an artist, there are like so many good alternatives these days. Yeah, fuck Photoshop, man. At some point I'm gonna switch to Krita. I tried, but I had some issues with the stroke latency and stuff. Nothing that can be figured out and worked on, you know, and it's just customization stuff. Then when you like set it up, it works great. So I tried it. It's intuitive. It's really good. You know, Krita is great. And I would, for all like beginner artists, I would recommend Krita. For all beginner game developers, programmers, coders, I would recommend Python and Godot. I know Unreal is also good, but it's a paid product later on, and you depend on term of use. There is no term of use in open source softwares. They just develop new technologies much slower, you know, naturally, but except that, what's paid in? I don't know. I didn't read the agreement term of use, but I don't know. I don't want to say something that I'm not how to say, that I didn't study. But it's a corporation, you know, so there must be something some provision or something they take out of you when you go public with your game, and if your game sells good, there must be something. But only with the point of like having term of use, they can switch it anytime they want. It's just their business policy can change at any time, and you just got stuck in the middle of it if you're in the middle of the game development. The only thing that I know of is you have to give them like 1%. What's the name of the other tool that indie developers often use, and AA developers? Unity. So Unity also was like that until they changed terms of use, you know. With Photoshop, I don't even want to, you know, go deeper into the details, but not just that, Photoshop is actually developing its own AI tools using artists' work as not as a reference, but as a base for learning. So they're actually using product. They're actually using your illustration, which is not bad. But I'm just saying, look at the big picture. They're using your artwork, not paying it at all, and using it to develop their own software, which will they sell to you in the future. That it's like the next level of greediness and corpo bullshit, you know. Corporations are pure evil. They really are, you know. It's like they are anti-human at its essence, you know. Because it's an organism that lives and works for itself only. It's not natural. It's not humane. And if we live and develop cultures that are not humane, we're not going anywhere, you know. Like the surplus you make after you must share 1%. That's not greedy at all. But Matilda, what if they, in the middle, for example, let's say you're making like a video game for, I don't know, 3, 4, 5 years, and at the last 20% of game development, which you did in Unity, and they just decide to change term of use and other business politics, and then you just got struck with it, and you either need to pay it or either need to accept that retarded new term of use or switch to another tool for game dev, which is not a problem for well-experienced game developers, you know. But in the industry, they are not majority, you know. They are like small percentage, you know. Even for well-trained and how to say that, someone which master the game dev and programming, only the footwork that needs to be done when switching to a new tool set it costs like a lot of nerves, even for those guys, you know, because you need to all the assets must be, you know, now imported and worked on and prepared for a new working environment and tool. No, I'm speaking of Unreal Engine, which has always been same, and they're very indie friendly. I understand you, but it's a private company. It's not open source. They can change their term of use at any time. You don't have a guarantee that it will stay like that. Unity was also like that up until one point, if you know what I mean. So most likely they won't change, of course, but are you willing to risk that? When you're developing, like, it's okay when you're doing a small game, but when you're developing like a big game for several years, do you want to risk actually depending of term of use, you know? Unreal has the most free shit I've ever seen. You got a Quixel bridge with other 15k assets for free usage. Yeah. I know. I love Unreal. I have nothing against them. I'm just saying, you know, in theory, you know, in theory they can switch to the other type of business model at any time. For example, imagining just that few CEOs is changing, and you know, just key figures are changing in the company, and they just decide, you know, this is not giving us enough money. We need to be more profitable. Therefore, this, and this, you know. True. But that's not in our control, unfortunately. Yeah, it's not. That's why I say go for the open source. Of course, there are more merits to Unity than Godot for some things, but you know, at the end, you know, the best way is to like make your own engine, but that's for masters. That's just impossible for somebody that is not a programmer, and you know, just he's in the process of learning while actually making his own game, you know. Come on, I wanna live my life, not spend it learning and making my own game engines. Well, you and I, of course, but somebody that is well experienced in that kind of stuff guarantees you that the best way to go with the game, especially if it's like a huge project involving like more than 5 people. For example, like AA project that involves like up to 20 or 50 people. If the programmers are game engineers, if they're like well versed in the tool sets and in the history of doing that stuff, they will always say, make your fucking own engine, you know. But hey, it's science fiction fantasy for me and you, of course, especially for me, because my experience as a solo developer is second to none if you exclude art, you know. If I had a team of programmers, yeah, of course. But yeah, man, that studio that I was like 2 years ago, they developed their own engine. Because if you have good people that are good enough to actually do that, you can make changes and, you know, different stuff without any boundaries, and it's just better on the long run. But man, although also there is no guarantee that that engine will be good, you know. For example, look, Bethesda's Hero engine. It's success, man. Bethesda's own engine is so... everything is... it looks outdated. I'm not talking about graphics. I'm talking about fluidity of controls when you're actually controlling from the first person. Try playing like in any other engine, like first person game. It doesn't matter if it's shooter or fantasy, it simply doesn't matter. But movement, everything, it's so glitchy, it's so robust. I don't know how to say. Only a movement is robust, and it's like when basic stuff is not good, you know, everything else will suck, no matter how much you fill the cake with different ingredients later on. Well, also encouraging stuff is that as future comes, in each like decade or so, the tool set for making a video game will be much easier for entry level. You'll have much easier entry level for people that are that have no experience as coders, you know, and programmers. That is encouraging, you know. And with the AI, even today, I think that you can actually make a much faster and much easier game with paid ChatGPT than without it, you know. It can write a half code for you, you know. Although you need to have some experience with the basics of how to say that, knowing the language of the code, so that you can actually work on mistakes AI do, and it does like a lot of mistakes. So if you ask me, as an artist, I will not use AI. I will never use AI. But for example, as for the other parts of development, dude, if I find out the way, if I can make something like much faster, I'm considering the code and, you know, toolset, I will actually do it without any consideration, you know, because I'm like 41 years old. I don't have time to spend like 6 years learning programming or something. But until that day comes, I will learn everything I need to. Who knows? Maybe by the time I finish this showcase for demo, maybe you'll join me and we'll finish the entire game together. After all, we're living close to each other, you know. We can go on team buildings often. Life is full of surprises, Matilda. Sorry, I was away. I will only say this once and never repeat it again. Fuck you, Matilda. I only heard, yeah, maybe you'll join me, man. No, it's much better to do this stuff with a good company, yeah, with a good friend. I will present this when I have like a crystal clear idea how the gameplay will look. I have it, but I want to write like solid GDD, and when I have it, I want to talk to you, because I know you work in Unreal, and also 2D games can be done in Unreal, especially if you do like demo. What the game? Yeah, man, fucking game, man. Bunch of people making games with idiotic visuals, man. We could actually make a piece of art. For sure, yeah, I'm really glad to hear that, man. When time comes, be prepared. Be prepared. So if we get there and everything goes well, you come live in Serbia. We find your Serbian wife here, and then we'll just jam new games throughout the entire life, you know. And when I die, you just continue to develop them, you know. That's the way to go. That's the way to go, my friend. Yeah, I was always when I was a bit younger, like 30 years old, I had like a big dreams for video games, but I realized there is really a small amount of people that are willing to actually work hard for the idea and not for a salary, you know. For example, I am at this moment I'm working this for the sake of the idea that I have, and working for that is you need to love that project, you know. You need to love what you do. But why Serbian? Why? I bring my Romanski. I'm just I'm Magyar, yeah. I'm just joking, man. You bring whatever you want. If you ask me, you can even have a Bulgarian wife. I don't care, as long as she is a good person and if she lets you do like game jamming a lot. Why not, man? Of course, I'm all about having fun and enjoying the process, man. That's all that matters at the end. I look at this as playful time. I don't know how to say. Doing art is a first of all playful thing for me. I feel like a kid. I feel like when I was a kid and playing with Lego, you know, just enjoying the process, man. And when I do it for money, I don't think like that. I'm just, you know, acting professional and considering how much I'm willing to invest into the project with the budget that I was given, you know. And if I also like the project or not. And if I also like the people that are working it or not. If I don't like the people, I will actually do my bare minimum, you know. And it's not like I don't know what I'm speaking about. I work with the studios, and I'm actually shocked by the amount of lack of creativity, experience, and vision for the video games people that are actually making them are having. You know, they really lack artistic expression. They really lack artistic vision and uniqueness and everything in their games. So. And yet they succeed to manage to you know, release their game and make some money out of it and actually to be proud, you know. So what is happening? Damn it. 1 second, something is off. Let me see. Okay. Yeah, I'm really shocked. Not only by incompetence, you know, but For example, you have studios that are playing, that are actually making a video game in certain genre, and if you ask developers in that studio how much experience do you have in this genre, 90% of them never played their genre. 50% of them never played video games, and that's disgusting. You know, how can you actually do a job in industry you don't have no passion about? You know, and how do you expect your project, your game will actually do anything? You know, in the long run. Ugh. And also you have like a shit ton of artists in the industry that are really good with the knowledge of anatomy, proportion, coloristic harmony, blah 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 blah. I don't want to go deep into that stuff. Even more than myself, for example. And their artwork, no matter how it's anatomically accurate and had like all certain attributes that can qualify this man as per se, you know, a person that knows what he's doing. You know, their artwork looks so plastic, so sterile, how to say, you know. And that's what you see in the mobile video game industry at the moment. Mobile video games, not all, but majority of them are lacking total artistic expression. You know, the art directors are all actually forcing you to go like, it needs to be neat, it needs to be precise, it needs to have like you know, soft lines here and soft transitions of light and shadow, and when by the time you finish it, everything is in order, everything is in its place, but you don't have any playfulness with the colors. You don't have any kind of personality to the artwork, you know. And that's how you actually, this stands for 2D and 3D artists. So that's how you actually learn how to separate like good game projects that are actually art from the bad ones, you know. Because video games needs to be first of all art and then pop culture, you know. Video games took its place in the pop culture because they were actually under a good artistic visual entertainment, you know. When I'm saying artistic, I'm not just talking about visuals and sound. I'm talking also about game design, about, you know, other stuff. It is okay to be inspired by some video game when you're making your own, but to actually copy mechanic and do like some mega small twist, you know, of that thing is, you know, what's the point? For example, when they say Blizzard, they just stole the recipes from other MMORPGs when they did what? No, they did, but what they managed is to actually intertwine them so good that for the first time a player could actually enjoy this game without any hardcore aspects, you know. And WoW Vanilla was hard, man. Don't get me wrong. People didn't know how to play MMORPGs back then. Also, art direction in the old World of Warcraft was next level for me, if you ask me. Blizzard art directors were beasts. All was good up until Pandaria. Pandaria was just artistically so wrong. So what they did is, if you try to mega simplify their characters, armors, buildings, and all other artworks, you can actually visualize it in some kind of cubes, you know, and they all of a sudden start pushing in some round shapes, you know. So much round shapes that it was more of like a Disney and less of like a Blizzard, that 90 muscle vibe visuals that they had. StarCraft, for example, StarCraft 2 looks amazing. That game even today looks amazing, if you ask me. And 1 and 2. I don't play StarCraft. I'm not some fan of RTSs. I never knew how to play them, nor did I enjoy playing them, to be honest. But man, StarCraft is just artistically another beast, you know. This all stands for the old release. New projects, new art directions are okay, but they're not game changers, you know, by any means. They do not add anything fresh, nor even keeping some of their old methods. They're just not important anymore. Back in the day, for an artist who said I worked at Blizzard, it was like huge thing in his CV. Today it means literally nothing. So also tragic thing is they managed to devour their own IP so much. I'm talking about World of Warcraft. I'm talking about Warcraft at all in general. They managed to devour it so much and fuck it around multiple times that today LOL, like League of Legends, is actually making like TV series and everything, which are actually great, out of the basic lore and world that is actually retarded comparing to World of Warcraft's world. Because World of Warcraft's lore is actually, if you ask me, this world's lore from all other cultures, and they intertwine it really well, you know, considering that they started with like orcs versus humans, you know. I need to do something here. Let me think about it. This. On će uskoro da spava, verovatno. Bravo. Pa mislim da on nema tamo, čekaj sekund. I'll be right back, guys. Neće. Pa poslije ga daci stavi kad mu... Stavi ga onda s čarapama ako ga stavljaš bez džaka. Sorry, I was talking to Lazar's grandma, to my mother. Op. Let me see. Good. but this needs to be more darkened, I think. Let me see. For example, here, brightness, let's reduce it a little bit, and let's paint a little bit here. Because this inner part is not actually exposed to light that much. We'll just leave these lightened parts near the end of the bracer. Yeah, much better. Anyway, I'm heading off to smoke a cigarette and to give my dogs something to eat. Stay right here. Be right back. Okay. My baby boy went to sleep. House is silent. Art calls. So let's continue. Where was I? Yeah, for example, video games that I really like art-wise is Banner Saga. Looked awesome, man. The art of Banner Saga was at that time unique. I didn't see much games with conventional graphic novel. I mean, more like comic book art style and cartoonish art style that looks so good. And it came up in right time. Narrative part was also great, but unfortunately gameplay was shitty, if you ask me. It was boring for me. I guess there are people that like it with a good reason, but it's just not my cup of tea. But art-wise, that game looks amazing, man. I think I will, just for that reason, sometime actually play it, you know? I did play it like a few years ago, but it was boring, and I was playing it only for the art and story. What? For example, let's name another game. Let's see. Art-wise, Ori and the Blind Forest. That game is beautiful, man. That entire world is beautiful. I need to lower this music for myself a little bit, and then I'm gonna turn it on for you. Where was I? Yeah. Let's see how the equalizer is. I can turn it on a little bit more. Yeah, okay. So yeah, I was talking about Ori and the Blind Forest. Yeah, the artwork there is beautiful. Art director, I don't know who was the art director, but job well done, man. It's iconic. Also, gameplay-wise, that game is beautiful. It's not just for the lovers of platformers. The entire progression of your character in that of Ori is beautiful. I don't know, it just pulls you in that world. It makes you want to play it more and more. And it's not easy. It's actually, for me, it was actually really hard, because those kind of games like platformers I played as a young boy, but now as an old grown-up man, it's a bit hard for me, you know, to play that games like that, you know. I die so many times when I play that game, but it's beautiful. It is really beautiful. What else? Yeah, I played Elden Ring only for the art direction. I am not a fan of soul-like games, and I didn't finish it, but I enjoyed a lot while I was playing it. The only reason I quit that game before finishing it was because it was too long for me. You know, I can only play multiplayer games for like 300 hours. I can't play single player games for that long. It doesn't hold me, you know. I guess it's a matter of taste also. But the art direction of Elden Ring is I don't know, mind-blowing. Dark Souls not so much. I didn't like the art there, you know. There's a big difference between Elden Ring and Dark Souls art style, you know, and art directions, no matter what people say. And of course, Elden Ring was open world game, that's why I played it. I love open world games, especially if they are done well. Was there another game? Let me think about it. That I really loved for its artwork. What was the name of that Tim Burton's like aesthetics? That roguelite, I can't remember. No, it's not Slay the Spire. Sorry, the Hollow Knight. Yeah, art style and artwork is beautiful there, man. It's really an awesome game. Interesting game also, and hard game. At least for me, it was really hard. I died a lot. I can't remember. It was like second boss or third boss that I was like wiping and wiping and wiping. I knew what I need to do, but my skills are so rusty that I just, you know, died and died again and again. So, you know, when you like don't know what to do, it's okay to die that much. But when you actually figure out, okay, I need to do this and this and this in order to defeat this boss, and still I don't manage to do that, that's when I get frustrated, because that's like an old age just influencing my gameplay, you know. Let's remember another game. With cooler art style and art direction. Hades, yeah, it also looked great. There was a little bit of, how to say, schizophrenic outcomes with the colors that just made my eyes get tired faster because of it. How to say, you know, that's also important in video games. A lot of people actually don't think about that so much. Not just in indie games, AAA games are also having that problem. For example, bad UI. If you played Assassin's Creed, last like three or four sequels, I don't know how to name it, 3 or 4 last games of Assassin's Creed, it looks so weird, the UI. It makes you, if you want to see it more clear, you actually need to meditate when night comes, and then you actually see everything when the night comes, and then you can crystal clear play that game. But by the day, you just don't see UI elements that well. It's not good design, so you actually have millions and millions of dollars pouring into a project and failing to actually do like basic stuff good, you know. Money means nothing in this kind of situations. You can have all the money in the world, but if you don't get the right people, and if you don't have good leaders that actually manage that project very well, you'll have like shit ton of mistakes and shitty work, just because leaders are not doing their job well. But on the other hand, as I was saying like 1 hour ago, I understand it, because when you're doing something for your pay grade, actually for money, you just don't care that much on it, you know. There are rarely projects that people are actually putting 100% of them, you know. They're just going from one project to another, yada yada yada. And that's the part when you're stop being artist and you're just a man with skills and nothing else. That's how I act when I'm doing work for money. I do not care. Only if team is good and if the project is interesting, am I gonna pay attention to the quality that much, you know? So personally, I like did my best and did 100% out of myself, because people of the projects were really cool and entire crew was really cool, regardless if game project sucks for me, you know. So when it comes to that stuff, people that you're working with are more important for me than actual project, because if people are good, I can make Nazi Barbies and enjoy the process, you know. If crew is bad, if people are like consumed by their egos and, you know, not trying to understand all other members of team, I don't care. It can be like the best game ever, I really don't care. Nazi Barbies, yeah, man. Yeah, for example, also that game that was really praised a few years ago, Disco Elysium. It was one of a kind game back then, and after it came out, now you actually have like, I think maybe 15 or more recognized projects, so there must be even more that are actually doing same recipe and same art style from different studios. And that's like number one thing that I don't like about gaming industry, you know. It's okay to be inspired by something, but to actually copy it and just do like a twist, it's a bad thing if you ask me. Give me a sec. I love when I do my own art because I'm not in a rush to finish anything, you know, and just trying to render stuff, you know, slowly and trying different kind of ideas. For example, this, if you remember, this stuff I set it up, you know, like regularly wooden stuff, and later on I managed like to do this. And I wouldn't do that if I was like in a hurry to finish. I don't care about the timing, just enjoy the process. And when you're not in a hurry, you actually come up with great inspiring ideas for yourself as an artist. Oh, look at this. I never did this. Let me try. Ooh, it looks good. Okay, I will actually keep this pattern for some other stuff in the future artwork, you know. But on the other side, when you're rushing, when you're doing something for the client, when the time is actually matters and you need to finish something in a certain time, you actually tend to learn tricks how to do something faster, you know. So that's when you start using masks, which I hate. Masks I only use when I do other people's stuff for money. When I do stuff for myself, I never use masks because masks tend to sterilize artwork, especially if it's used early on in the artwork process. Some people use mask a lot when they're painting, and you can see it. You can see it in the painting. I'm shitting you not, you know. I like adding not literally layers, but when I paint, I like to paint over it and over it and over it. Just like when you do an oil painting, you know, conventional oil painting, you'll actually add on top of the last iteration. Just add on it, you add on it, you add on it, you iterate with it until it gets some kind of visual quality that you're actually aiming for, you know? Okay, in about maybe half an hour, I'll just have to walk my dogs. And I will have to make like a pause because of that, but I will continue painting when I come back. I do not intend to stop this yet. Make sure to get some beer. I'll go with dogs. Yeah, beer, man. Good point. I literally want to drink like beer for past few days, and I always forgot to buy one because I actually stopped using alcohol after I quit my, how to say, musician career. I stopped using alcohol because I used it only as a stimulus when we had like gigs. But it was when we had like a new album or something. We had to like play in 1 week in like 7 cities, and I could only do that either with drugs, which I didn't consume, or alcohol, you know, because otherwise I would just get devastated, you know, because I was already not that young, you know. That's sole reason why musicians use drugs, cocaine, and other stuff. Because, for example, if you are a well-known band and you just have a tour in 10,000 cities, you know, that lasts for like few months, there are only 2 ways you can do that. First is a good way, that's like training, diet restrictions, you know, watching for yourself, for your overall health, doing cardios and everything, so you can manage to pull off whatever you want to pull off on the stage. But the other path, which is not so great, is actually cocaine and other drugs, you know, heroin and whatever people used. But it was cocaine most of the time for some musicians. I never understood that. I always had a, how to say that, sympathy for weed, you know, but not for any kind of drugs, you know. Yeah, man, same opinion here. Although, I know this sounds crazy and retarded, even more retarded considering that I'm a Christian, but I think some artists wouldn't be able to pull off their artistic expressions if they were straight. One was Jim Morrison from The Doors, for example. You know, I think some guys just need to, some artists just need to step into some parallel world in order to express their musical vision. So, for example, Doors, they went to the desert and did some peyote. I think it's peyote. We call it peyote here in Serbia, but I think it's peyote actually. And it's a strong hallucinogenic shamanic drug. So they had like all kind of not just visions, but also mental and emotional states that actually influence their work. But it was not drugs that killed Jim Morrison. Actually, it was an alcohol. Alcohol is fucking death sentence if you consume it so much. Because he was never hooked on like heroin or something. You just drank a lot, whiskey and other stuff. Especially whiskey. Whiskey is pure poison. Whiskey, brandy, all those sweet drinks. I always tell people to stay away from those drinks. Those are most unhealthy. They raise your blood sugar. They attack your inner organs, liver and other. I can't remember English word for the organs, like other stuff also, kidneys and everything. Oh, this actually looks good, man. Okay, I'll make a small break and smoke a cigarette and then I'll be right back. Stay tuned. Okay, I'm back. Where was I? Yeah, at the gaming industry. Yeah, I also have colleagues and fellow artists that are actually well experienced with one damned shit that I really hate, and that's crunch time. You know, the amount of time they actually crunching. You know, in the video game industry is retarded. It's hilarious because. One second, let me see. Yeah, this is okay. I can merge it. Back in the days when I was a bit younger, crunch was something you had in the late phase of game dev. Like it was actually not a game dev; it was more like release stuff that needs to be fixed and well packed, how to say, before release date. And I can try to understand that stuff, you know. I can try to tolerate. I do not like it, but I can tolerate it somehow. But today, in gaming industry, most studios actually implement crunch at the very beginning, you know, because they try to gather financings from all other sources, you know, startups and everything. So they push you to push the team to work hard on start so much that they get tired, and they didn't even do like basic game development stuff. And studios also focus to more over presentation than to actual game dev work. I need to change this music. 1 second. Okay. Where was it? Yeah. And now crunch time is implemented really early on, so the not just artists but all other like animators and all other stuff from studios are actually getting burnout before project came in like a mid range, you know. So they get burnt out early on. That's not unhealthy, that's satanic, you know, if you ask me. That's retarded, you know. These are people we're talking about, not some ants, you know. You have, you know. Why is the music so loud? What the fuck? Give me a sec, I'm gonna turn it on for you, but yeah, it's better now. So now you get burnouts easier, you know, at the start of the game development, and that's something I really don't understand. But there are light beacons even in this industry. For example, was the Iron Gate Studios or something, the guys that made Valheim. So they actually did the entire process from early game dev to like first release game dev of early access in way more relaxed and mature and cool state. How to say, you know, they were much more cool. When I say cool, I not mean something like cool, you know, in a pop sense. I mean like cool as cool-headed, you know. And they were relaxed, and game went really well. And after that, they managed to accumulate a large amount of money. They could expand the team and hurry the entire project, because there was also pressure from gaming community. Oh, when a patch is coming out, where are other biomes are coming out, you know. Regular gamers just, you know, wanting to play a game, which I completely understand, but they said no. They kept like the original team. They only introduced like 2 maybe members into team. One was for community and another maybe for animation, I can't remember. And they sticked with the original culture of working. Game went slow, there was a drop of players, but hey, you know, they knew that they were gonna they were not gonna make like a large amount of money that easy, but they were making, you know. So they are satisfied with the finances, you know. They just took their time, and still the game is in early access. There is one more biome actually left to be developed, and they changed the mechanics a little bit before implementing new biomes later on. The patch was called Heart at Home. They switched some stuff, some game mechanics, and made like a perfectly good game for the future content. And that's it. You know, they are big, if you ask me, because what they did is actually big, but they stayed humble and small and relaxed in the entire process. You know, they didn't carry it away by greed or something. And that's like really rare to see in these days in the gaming industry, in any industry, you know. So that's it. Kudos to those guys. Big W. Let's make it less dark here. Yeah, like this. So throughout this entire stream, my progression is going really slow because we are like 1 hour and 48 minutes into stream, and I only did manage to like do this, not even the entire hand. I actually like did this part, but hey, who gives a shit? The mainstream is for conversation. Yeah, definitely. But Hanzo isn't here to ask cool stuff, and I'm too tired to troll you. Hey man, no worries, man. It's okay to be passive lurker. I also tend to do that. Watch some people stream, you know, and just do nothing, you know, just listen to them in background. That's. I think that's actually the way people listen to stream in most cases, you know. They don't tend to get involved into socializing, fantasizing, how to say it. Maybe there is like too much. Maybe I need to flatten it here and there. Let me see. I know. Let's see. For the sake of escaping the repetition. Maybe here. Let's see. And maybe here. Yeah, there is no Hanzo today. I guess he has some other stuff to do, like living his own life. Yeah, now it's better. Now it's much better. Okay, let's save this as a different file. 1 second. Okay. I tend often to flip artwork when I'm painting. I'm not doing it like vertically, I only do like horizontal flips because of my hand stroke. Okay. Let's do these hands now. Oh, hello, Hanzo. Sorry, I didn't see you coming and writing on the chat. I was focused in solving this problem here. How are you, my friend? We were mentioning you like a few minutes ago, me and Matilda. We were like, where's Hanzo? What the fuck? Where's our favorite Puerto Rican? I didn't notice the notification from your life. Yeah, man, no worries. What is important is that you're here, after all. I'm pretty good, man. Thanks for asking. Glad to hear that, man. Glad to hear that. Yeah, so we were talking about gaming industry, sorry, and we were talking also about crunch time in the studios, and before that we were talking about open source versus regular software, you know, and a bunch of other stuff. I can't remember everything. Oh, looking good, looking good. I wanted to be a conceptual artist for a long time. Concept artist, yeah. Yeah. I guess a lot of us wanted to. I also wanted, but as much as I was in concept art in some studios, I was learning that concept art is actually not how to say that dependent of knowing the technique, because it's 50% it's ideas, and the other is 50% is how to present that ideas to the rest of the art team, you know. So you don't have to draw well, you just have to draw well enough so you can present your ideas, and you have like 50,000 iterations of one costume, one idea, one hero, one whatever, you know. And that was tiresome for me, to be honest. I love to do some concept art, but to make to how to say to make it make some artificial borders, you know, around it, not to spend much time in it, because if you have too many options, you can't select a better one, believe me. So yeah, I guess it also depends on the studio. One, for example, for some studios or in freelance work, some people are actually satisfied with few concepts. You know, it's like you have this tower with the, I don't know, antennas on it, and this one is actually levitating, and this one is actually, I don't know, has waterfalls. I'm just, you know, babbling random stuff, and it's more than enough for some people. But some people want you to do like 10,000 iteration of one thing, and it's a really I never had such how to say that
that was like really tiresome for me. Like most out of all art thing that I did for money, most tiresome stuff were when you have when you have when you do business with some, or you do art for concept art for someone who doesn't know what he wants, and he just keeps swimming backward and forward and backward and forward, only to select at the end some random shit saying, yeah, this is perfect. But you as an artist, you can see that he didn't have any idea what he wants. He just wanted like different iterations. So he, I don't know, I don't know what people want, you know. Totally. Now I just want to be an illustrator. Yeah, that's why if somebody asks me, I'm an illustrator. I also do. I also present myself even as an illustrator for video games, because illustrator is a broad term. You know, concept artist is a completely different beast. You know. Bum, bum. Exactly. Yeah. So literally for one costume, I made like I don't know, 20. First, I made like 20 silhouettes, 20 different silhouettes, and up at some point, you're just not trying to make any cool silhouettes anymore. You're just trying to make different silhouettes, you know, hoping that somebody will like it, you know, that the guy that actually gave you the job will like it, and that's completely retarded way of doing stuff, if you ask me. The illusion that if you have many choices, you will be able to choose the most choice with most quality and originality. That's simply illusion. Often it's in the first three iterations, not like 20. And then after that, I had like 20 to 50 iterations of one armor that we choose. Sorry, that one silhouette that we chose from. I had like 30 different or 50 different iterations of armor, how to say that, inspired by that silhouette, you know. So not stepping too much out of it, because we exactly chose this one silhouette. Now let's do like 10,000 iterations out of that for quick sketches for armor. And then we finish that, and that's like where that is like where we choose like one and we stick to it up until some point it doesn't look so good, so therefore we must need to change it. What that tells you is that there was no vision. That was a lack of vision for concept. Literally, in the end, you just want him to choose, and that's it. Yeah, whenever the customer is or employee, or the person that employs you, does not know what to do, when I recognize it, I just blindly start to drawing what he says. You know, I just going into autopilot mode, just waiting the checkpoint until I will get my money, and that's it. You know, but that's not good relationship, and that's not how good artwork nor concepts are made. You need to leave the artist alone in order for him to figure out, with the information you accumulated and gave him, you know, what he wants to do with it, because you actually chose that artist watching his portfolio on ArtStation, for example. A bunch of times I had like I had people look at my portfolio, and they employ me, and they make me do completely different stuff, you know, for them art-wise. Sorry, my boy is spinning around on camera. 1 second, I want to see if he continues to sleep. Yeah, so they employ you by seeing your portfolio and asking you to do something that steps out of all visual and style, how to say that, style out of your portfolio. That's why today, when in my freelance and commissions, when I got employed, when somebody wants to employ me to pay me to actually draw something for him, I actually say, did you take a closer look to my portfolio? This is what you get. So if you like it, this is what you get. You will not get some other artist out of me, you know. So there is really a complex. I don't know how to say it. People just don't. People expect you to be serious, but they do not. They are not introduced to you throughout your portfolio, you know, very well. They were like, oh, this guy knows how to draw, and okay, let's employ him to draw us something that doesn't have any other artistic connections to what he actually does. So as my advice to somebody who wants to employ an artist, just take a good look at his portfolio and see if you can imagine your stuff in his art style, or is it close to the art style you actually wanted to do, you know. Of course, you have some artists that are jack of all trades, you know. I'm not. I have like two or three, how to say, stylized approach to my illustration. That's it. I do not tend to move away from it because I didn't even explore, you know, those three, and I haven't entire lifetime, and I know that I will not explore them completely, you know. Very real. You're an illustrator, and they confuse you with graphic design. Yeah, definitely. That's what happens. Yeah, they tend to look at the artist as same as they would look at the graphic designer. That is actually a good perception, my friend. There. Well said. Okay, I hope it's fine by you guys if I make a small pause. I wanna walk my dogs, maybe buy a beer, and come back in like 15 minutes and continue to draw for like 2 more hours maybe. So please have patience, my friends. I'll be back soon. Opa. Thank you. See you soon, guys. Hey, I'm back. My wife told me see you at 6 a.m. because baby for the last 3 days wakes up at 6 a.m. and we're zombified. So, where was I? Oh yeah, I was thinking about something. Just tell me, Hanzo and Matilda, are you guys here? I have one interesting proposition and idea for you guys. Well, somebody sends emojis, or how do you say? Type in chat if you are here. Hoću, ljubi, nemoj se brineš. 1 second. I'm here, brother. Okay. Until Matilda comes back. How would you like to actually create like a fast sketch? You don't have to bother too much with it. Because in this game I will have different locations where Jarok will hunt different kind of beasts. So I will need a scene, you know. Let me just throw you here, for example. 1 second. I need to find some reference on the internet so you can see. Just give me a sec. For example, something like this. Let me add it to Photoshop. This may be cool, guys, because you're like here from very beginning, and of this project, and I would like for you to. This is some old stuff I did for some video game, some background. So anyway, imagine like seeing in this kind of projection, you know, like you have like that flat area where character will stand, and you'll have like background there, like different stuff. So I need like different locations, like forest locations and some wilderness generally locations. So if you want to, feel free to like draw some quick sketch, you know, of some location, and we can work towards later on. I can actually paint on it, you know, or paint by the inspiration of that location that you drew, if you want to, you know, when you have like free time to draw some stuff. We can, you know, actually implement your ideas for the locations, you know. So feel free if you want to. Don't feel how to say that, any obligations, you know. Don't feel any pressures. Just if you at some point feel like doing it. I mean, I have a bunch of ideas, but I would like to integrate as many people as I can in this, you know. So it's more like quick sketches, with or without color, whatever you want to, you know. And we can build complex idea up on that sketch, you know. So how do you feel about that? Does that sound interesting to you? I would really love for this thing that I'm doing to become more of an interaction between you guys and I, you know, between anybody who is willing to actually, you know, play around with this. Because up at some point, oh yeah, I understand, I could try. Yeah, don't feel any pressure. Just, you know, just do it like you would do it for yourself. It doesn't have to look good. It just needs to transfer idea to me, you know. For example, if you can just quick draw something that you would explain to me how to say, you know, general concept art in its essence, you know. It doesn't have to be rendered at all, just, you know, rough sketchy, whatever. Just like you do like poses, the gestures, you know. And we can build onto it later on. Because after I finished with game intro and story, an introduction to the game and main menu, next thing will be actually world map and locations on which Jarok will travel. Okay. Ah, yeah. Something about woods comes to mind. Yeah, man. Whatever you like. I don't want to tell anything because I don't want to influence your vision, you know. But there will be a shit ton of different kind of landscapes, so whatever comes to your mind, like if it's forest, okay, if it's general some other wilderness like desert, it's okay, if it's whatever is interesting for you at the moment, you know. And I would also like for you to download Discord so we can stay in touch, man. It would be a shame if all of this would end up on stream, you know. I mean, you don't have to if you don't want to. But it's good for sharing those, you know, ideas and iterate with it. This is also an experiment for me because I love this is not the correct word. I do good when I work by myself. I often don't like how I work with other people, but for whatever I want to do in the future, I would love to train myself to be more efficient with other people, you know. So there's like a playful lesson for all of us, you know. And don't have any pressure to, you know, I must finish it this week or this day, or it doesn't matter, whatever you're feeling up to. It's not urgent at all, you know. Understand, very good idea, a healthy way to interact. Yeah, man, definitely. So I'll try to express the idea and have idea as best as you can. Don't worry about the quality, don't worry, yeah, just, you know, doodle and enjoy the process, man. And we'll see if we can expand it, you know, later on. Matilda's not here, I guess, still. Matilda sold us for a few coins. Hey, Judas. Hey, this of a man. For Matilda, I'm half asleep, dude. Okay, then I'll communicate this idea to you tomorrow or some other day. I don't want to disturb your inner sleepiness. Oh, this cold beer really serves me well. Master, evilness suits you good. Could you explain the general idea you have for this project? Well, okay, since you asked. So, the name of this game is Jerok the Hunter, and this guy that I'm actually painting and doing the illustration of is Jerok the Hunter himself. He is an apex hunter that comes from some culture or society that is actually that took like the idea of hunt on another level and added like spiritual and all other aspects on it. And to keep it short, he goes around this fantasy world hunting different kind of animals that often are not just animals, but also some kind of demigods, how to say, avatars, you know, that are entrapped or having a shape and body of an animal, you know. So animals will not be just regular, you know, boars and deers. It will be more high fantasy like. So he actually hunts them. Sometimes he can harness their powers. Sometimes he hunts them only for body parts, which are actually used for some kind of other stuff, not just materials for armor and weapons, but also for some magical stuff. So he's, let's say, not only a hunter, he's slash shaman slash summoner, something like that. The game will be in turn-based combat, and you will have map travel, and it will be roguelite. So you will die often in game, but each time you die, you will accumulate the experience you actually managed to accumulate in that game and spend it into a talent tree, unlocking some new talents or perks, or call them however you want for now. And each time you actually play this game, you will be more and more powerful. Therefore, after a few iterations, not few but many, you will be able to beat all the bosses, you know. So you will have like maybe 5 locations, and then when you kill like 5 animals, that will trigger the boss to spawn on the map, and then you'll go and fight another boss in order to progress further to the map. If you play the Slay the Spire or something, it works similar like that. I hope this is some kind of explanation, you know. as I said to Matilda, I will do a GDD on this subject and make this project more defined and closer to you guys as time goes by. By the way, I think Matilda left to sleep. Let's do this later on. Okay, 1 sec. Yeah, like this. Good. Let's see if I can simplify this over here. It's too much information for the small amount of space it actually has on this artwork. Understand? Sounds really interesting. Yeah, glad you like it, man. Any secondary characters? Well, so this thing that I didn't work on, that I will work on at some point. This thing is called the eyes. So actually, this hunter is blind. For now, that's like the story. He's blind, and he took his own eyes. That's how they do it in this society, and he embraced the eyes of this strange object, being, whatever. So he could actually be more efficient at hunt, you know. So they actually tend to how to say, vivisect their own self in order to be more efficient at what they're doing. So that's maybe a reason why he wears this crystal mask in order to communicate with this object. I don't know yet. So this object will have also much impact on story and on gameplay. I didn't figure it out how, but it should be actually tied to talent tree. For example, maybe you can, with if you spend this talent for the eyes, maybe you can see more than one location in front of you or something. We'll see about that. And there will be like a druid. There is a chance that location with druid will spawn, and at druid you can learn like new spells in exchange of some things that you collected from other magic animals, you know how to say. So you'll have like Jarok, you'll have the eyes, you'll have druid, and maybe you'll have some kind of trapper or merchant or hunter that you can trade some stuff. I don't know yet, but for now, for certain, you'll have Jarok the hunter, you'll have druid, and you'll have the eyes. And that's it for now. All other things are only enemies that you kill and scavenge parts from them. That's it for now. Because this would be like a small project. I'm not aiming for anything like too big. I try to keep it simple, you know. He took his own life. Yeah, not he, they, because he is not a unique person at all. He is part of some other tribal community, you know, and in that tribe, they actually, the hunters in that tribe, their tribe often in some kind of ritual, cut out and pull out their eyes, and they bind to this strange device slash being that they call the eyes, so they can actually look the battlefield and the hunting grounds more than just from their eyes. They can manipulate any point of view they want on hunting grounds. They can scout with it before they even go, for example, to the deep forest, you know. They can evade unnecessary events and dangers that way, so it's a cool way to actually implement in mechanic, if you ask me, you know, and story-wise it has sense. And in a symbolic way it also has sense. In order to achieve some kind of goal that is represented by a higher talent, like apex talent, you have to sacrifice what is actually most important to you. For example, in this case it's the eyes. I don't know, it has that sacrifice moment, you know, and often I think it's also in relation to like some pantheon of gods they have or something. I didn't figure out yet, but they will definitely be a spiritual tribe, so it all needs to have sense. It's not just for the coolness, you know, he doesn't have eyes. No, it's not like Daredevil or something. He purposely pulled out his own eyes in order to actually have higher sense now. Why is this important? I want a character who knows how to suffer, who can embrace suffering, you know, and he knows that suffering is actually a way to achieve something else in his life. Without suffering, you can't achieve anything, because suffering is actually a journey. I'm gonna go and smoke one cigarette, and then maybe I'll try to do something with the eyes. This is how we're gonna call it, the eyes. No. I should have asked before, but does something about this outfit have some deep meaning about him? I don't know, man. I want one stereotype moment for the hunter, and that is actually this green cloak. I wanted like to represent hunter in any cliche that I can, but not fully cliche, because I had, you saw the older iterations and concepts for let me show you once again, 1 second. This is an old Jerok. This was the first concept for Jerok the Hunter. This is just a regular hunter, you know, with bunch of fur and other stuff for camping, you know. He has frying pan, he has daggers, short swords, rope, bow, crossbow, javelins, everything he needs for the hunt. Yet somehow this was too much of cliche for me, and I wanted to actually step out of that classic fantasy setting. I wanted to add something that is abnormal, but yet visually appealing, you know, for me at least. So that's why I went to this new Jerok that I'm actually drawing now, Also, I wanted him to look more agile, which he definitely is. This guy, and I want something more obscure and more outerworldly. How to say? Because I want this to be high fantasy. I do not want to have like aesthetically cliche tropes in the costumes. So you can actually see that there is some kind of pattern here. You know, there are like some kind of old symbols on his necklace. Although this necklace is so big that it's almost like part of the shoulder costume, you know. He has this that reminds me of Mayan, these parts that are here and there repeating as a pattern. Here also on spear. Also he has that material, that crystal material on his helm, but also on his spear and maybe on his eyes. I'll see, I'm not sure. What else? Yeah, this was the first iteration of the spear, and now I want to actually add like some complexity to it. It's not just regular spear, it's gonna be some mastercrafted spear, you know. So yeah, it all makes sense, you know. Or not. I am off to smoke a cigarette and I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back. Thank you guys for staying and having the patience. I'm talking a bit. I'm a bit quiet because with the low volume, because my baby boy is sleeping in the next room and my wife also. So let's do this in complete silence. So let me ask you: is it now a good time maybe to put my own music in stream? It's strictly instrumental. Yeah, why not? Or change. So like 10 years ago on my YouTube channel I did like a huge musical project, maybe like 140 instrumental songs I did. And back then I was fully immersed in music. I played in like 3 bands, and at some point I just had to, you know, make decisions. Why should I pursue like artistic career or stay in music? Music was my passion, but I was not maybe well versed or something to actually pursue professional career from it. So music stayed as a hobby, and today I'm using in my personal projects only my music and compose new music, of course. But let's go with an old album. So now we are listening to pages of Architectum, some kind of instrumental storytelling of the Architectum. Architectum was the book of the creator, which he used to actually create the entire universe. Yeah, that was my, you know, high fantasy inspiration for this project. I will link it here for you guys to listen to if you want to later on in the chat. Give me a sec. There you go. Pages of Architectum. Let's start. First song is called Birth. So everything starts with that pulse, you know, pulse of incoming, you know, inspiration for the creation of the creator, you know. As he turns the pages of Architectum, he slowly starts to create the universe. At least that's how I visualized it. No problem, man. Yeah, this is some old music of mine that I made like 10 years ago or something, I don't know, 8 years ago. It calls Pages of Architectum. It's a conceptual album, illustrative, instrumental album of my instrumental music, and it's, again, I will repeat, sorry for others, but I need to repeat this to Hanzo because Hanzo is here from very beginning. It is a story of creation of universe, and the pages of Architectum are actually pages of the book of creation, you know. Thank you, thank you. So, as universe is creating, the music steps away from only rhythm parts and it entangles some melodic parts, you know. This is where guitar actually steps in, you know, a little bit. Yeah. So the next song is called Artifex Primum, which I think means like a prime creator, you know. So it actually illustrates the creator itself, which is some kind of strange semi-technology organic being or something. This is him, you know, crafting, smithing the world, you know, like his huge hammer is just smithing the universe. Next song is Shaping the Life. It explains itself. So he created the universe, but he had to put a breath on life in it, you know? Yeah. Thank you. actually sense those organic drums. You can actually sense those organic drums coming out of this electronic music, you know? The organic drums represents that vital part for the life. Fuck, I clicked something by accident. Yeah, nothing, I just clicked something. Can you show the whole drawing for just a second? Yeah, not a problem. There you go. Does the spear pierce the cape? No. It's actually behind the cape. See? We had that problem in the 2 streams ago, and I corrected it. So it's actually behind him, but cape is how to say that, wrapped around the spear. See. So there is no logic for cape to be behind. That was the old drawing, you know. There was no logic for cape to be behind the spear, because if he comes from top, it will have to pierce the cape in order to stay this way, you know. So he'll have to actually, when he carry it, if he was holding it horizontally and then switch to the vertical position, it will have to be behind the spear. Yeah, man. That's what you get when you have this kind of position, spear and in the cape, you know. That's how problem had to be solved. But I also didn't see it, you know. Like 2 streams ago, I managed to see it and correct it. Oops. Will the eye have some design similar to the characters, to notice their union? I guess I didn't think that deep, so we'll figure it out while illustrating. I was thinking about maybe making the same material, but I think the eyes should be more organic. But as some magic is connecting them, they should reflect same color. That's why the eyes, both, and helm are yellow. I'm still thinking that after he was able to fuse himself with his eyes after pulling his own and fusing with this artifact or whatever this is, once this object had its own will, but after the fusion, it left without will, so now Jericho commands it fully, you know. In a way, symbolically, Jericho killed this being. Isn't it a fuck up? When you think of it that way. I think. I think maybe I'll put more green here. Let me just see. For example, here. Will it have character customization? It will have a talent or perk tree, how to name it. Each time you die, you actually play a game, classic roguelite, you know. You'll play a game from start each time you die, but all XP you gathered on the last gameplay you will invest in your talent tree that is in the main menu. With it or without it? Without it. If you thought about character visual customization, no. For this small project, definitely not. Maybe you will unlock different skins throughout the story, but I don't know. It's too early to think about that. That's just, you know, too much for me to think about. I'm just focusing on this step by step. Okay. Let's try some liquify tool. Oh, wait a second. Would I see it? Seen it? I almost made a huge mistake of making this ice part also symmetrical, which I didn't want to. Whoa, no, 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 no. Yeah, for now I'm just gonna do this, and let's try liquefy tool. Okay, I think I'm done for now. Oh my god, I accidentally turned off YouTube. Give me a sec. Yeah, okay. Anyway, this was all for today. I'm getting like really, really tired, and Matilda is in the fifth dream. Yeah, yeah. He had like a beer or two, and he fell asleep in the middle of the stream. So, but don't forget, 2 days ago. He told me, I don't understand how people get tired, you know? So, thank you, Hanzo, for being here all the way. And thank you all, guys, for watching this stream. Have a good night or morning, whatever time zone you're in. And we'll continue tomorrow, I think. Bye bye and love you all.